Hey guys, Ralph Havens here of Beyond Limits Physical Therapy in Bellingham, Washington. And today this is the fourth video in our Helix Biomechanics video series. We have Luke, who is a local runner here in Bellingham, and I'm going to go straight to his video of what he was dealing with before, and then we'll show the pre-physical therapy, integrated manual therapy session of his running form, and then look at what changed after we did it. So first, a message from Luke and what he's been dealing with. We've got Luke here, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his body before we do our session. So go ahead and tell me again about what you were thinking with what was going on with the knees and then the ankle.
Okay. Yeah. So just if I don't stretch enough or anything, I could seem to notice a little bit of pain when I'm running in the knees. But if I roll before and after a run, it seems to mitigate that pretty well. And then as for down here, I had a little fluid buildup right after.
Let's just look at that. It's like a little fluid right there. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look and see what you look like afterwards. Okay, so we're going to show the before video, and I'll explain what I see and go from there. So here we go. So I'm going to go to a little slow motion setting here for us. And I'll tell you what I see. So he has nice form. One thing I do notice is his legs are a bit in front of him when he's running, and his arms are also a bit in front of him. So you're going to see how that changes in a bit. He goes up and down and hits on his the middle of his foot. And one thing that I notice is his the way his body is shearing. He's like going a little to the left and then to the right with his upper back, and his pelvis is going the opposite direction. As you can see, he's kind of shearing, and his arms are crossing over in front of him. Overall, nice form, but this kind of goes with his knee pain. His legs are hitting a little bit in front. His foot's hitting a little in front of his center of mass, and he's pulling himself forward. His arms and his legs are forward of his body. Overall, a good runner. You can tell he's a very good runner. Now, here's the after. We did an hour and 15 minutes of a Helix Biomechanics session, and this is what he looked like after that. And so what you can see is his elbows are pulling back more. He's less in front of his body with his legs. There's more of a lift going up and forward through his rib cage. And he's now got a reciprocal motion between his shoulder blade and his opposite hip. His shoulder blade and his pelvis, and his shoulder blade and his pelvis, there's a nice recoil happening, a nice loading up and then expanding. He's not really shearing like he was before. So you can tell he's lifted up a little more with his chest, and his elbows are pulling back, and his knees are a little bent. And you could think, well, he's not lifting the knees quite as high as he was before. But what's happening is he's running with his legs behind him where they should be. His chest should be leading. And so I'm going to show you the before again, because it's quite interesting. Here we go. Let's go right to sorry about that. Okay, so see how his legs are in front of him, and his arms are also in front of him, and he's sitting back with his pelvis. He's going forward with his legs and then pulling himself forward more, and so that could be why his knees are hurting. It's just hitting a little harder than it needs to be, and his back is shearing left and right, back and forth, and not really doing that reciprocal motion that we like to see between the shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle. Ideally, we like to see a wind-up effect of the left shoulder girdle and the right pelvis coming together in the back, and then the opposite side, the left shoulder girdle and the right pelvis coming together. And he's instead going back and forth, left and right with his upper back and his pelvis, and his arms and legs are in front of him. So now watch, here's the afterward again. And watch what happens with his running. He's got less of a lift with his knees, but more of his legs are behind him, driving forward. He's softer in the way he's running, which will help his knees. He's landing a little bit more towards the ball of the foot instead of straight in the middle of the foot. And he's got a nice reciprocal action between his pelvic girdle and his shoulder girdle. The opposite shoulder and pelvis are coming together in the back in that X kind of orientation instead of shearing. See that? Just looks softer and lighter, less stress on the knees. His foot's landing a little bit more underneath him. This was after an hour and 15 minutes of integrative manual therapy, the Helix Biomechanics session. And now let's hear what he has to say about the whole experience. Let me just go ahead and go back to full speed. And here's what. Yeah, tell us what did you notice pre and post session with the run?
Everything definitely didn't feel as fluent versus afterwards. Afterwards felt like everything was flowing through pretty well. Overall, I would say knees felt much better. Foot strength felt a lot lighter, and overall upper body, whole body felt a lot looser. So pretty sweet.
Cool, man. And you mentioned something about it, like resetting the factory settings, huh?
Yeah, I mean it just makes you feel really, really good.
Cool. Anything else you want to say about the actual session?
I would say the session was great. Unlocked all my tight muscles that I had and feel nice and loose and pretty smooth on the run. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so that was Luke B., local runner here in Bellingham, Washington. My name is Ralph Havens. I'm a physical therapist here at Beyond Limits Physical Therapy by the South Bay Trail in Fairhaven. And if you're dealing with a problem, a chronic running injury, something that's keeping you from running the way you want to run, reach out to me, ralphhavens.com. And the number is 360-599-2217. And we can take a look and see what's at the root cause of your condition and get you back to running and on the trails and on the track the way you like. All right, you guys, I will see you all very soon.